All right, sorry about that. I'm just a little bit behind as always, but I am here now. So I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds to log on, see that I'm on live, and I'm going to get a little bit more reorganized in my space here. You guys all know my desk starts out great and then ends up like a chaotic mess. So I'm going to try my best not to do that tonight. We're going to be making these two cards. These come from my December's card club, which I just marketed yesterday. You guys have had me so busy that I just can't breathe sometimes, but I love it. And that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to be using the Cottage Rose Bundle, which is in the annual catalog. So if you want to get your annual catalogs out, it is on page, let's see, I had it marked. I think it's like 56. So let me just double check. Yes, on page 56 and 57, you will find the Abigail Rose Suite. I'm using the Cottage Rose Bundle and the very beautiful paper that goes with it. All right, so I know, and that paper is called the Abigail Rose Designer Series paper. Very neutral colors in it. I'm going to be using very vanilla this month for our main card base, not basic white, but very vanilla. I find I use very vanilla around the holiday season a little bit and a little bit more towards the beginning of fall. But usually basic white is my go-to color. All right, so there's a couple things I wanted to go over because it's been kind of an exciting day today. We have free shipping and there's not a lot of time left. So let's see, I'm 7 o'clock Eastern time. So 5 o'clock Mountain time it is right now. So you'll have what, 6-7 hours left to place an order of at least $75 and you'll get free shipping. I took advantage of it on 3 different orders. Let's see, my rest of my card club for December. And also I purchased the new mini cut and emboss that will be available for new demonstrators starting up in January. So I'm super excited about that. Once I get it, I will show it to you. But it's using a new color that we will be viewing pretty soon. So don't want to spoil anything yet, but if you haven't received your mini catalog or celebration brochure, let me know because I can double check my mailing list to see if you are on it and if I sent one to you. If not, I would be happy to get one in the mail as long as you're not working with a current demonstrator and that you're not a current Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So anyway, card club's ready to go. I've got my ordering special. So not only if you place an order of $75, if you use a host code, which is right here, sorry I don't have the cards. I think I accidentally mailed them because they're so beautiful. But anyway, that's a picture of them right here. Not sure if you can see it or not, but they're all on my website. Everything is on my website, you guys. So you can just go to inspiredbygram.com and look at the right sidebar and you should see everything. There's a couple new blog posts too. I don't blog much. I'm primarily an email marketing campaigner. So if you want to receive my marketing classes or club or special events, you need to be on my mailing list. So it's really easy to do. Just go to my website and fill out that pop-up and that will go right to my email marketing kind of like program I use, which is Constant Contact. So you only have 2 more days for this one, okay? I'm using the framed florets, kind of a theme of cards here. That is going away in early January 4th is the last day you can order that. But I'm offering a free card class, 8 cards, you guys, 8, 2 of each design. You can see these are the designs. I'll bring it in a little bit closer so maybe you can see them. But this is on my website. It's also on my Facebook page too. So I can't tell, my laptop is so far behind right now. It's still not even close to being caught up. But anyway, those are the cards. You can also see them on my blog. But with a $35 order or more, so make sure the 35 is 75. That way you'll get the free shipping. You can order the frame florets, any of that. Or you can order the Cottage Rose Bundle and participate in December's card club. But that's a couple ideas for you. So you have to use a special host code for this free class offering. And it is PY2X49GS. Here is the website you can go to get all the information. And like I said, it's on it might be easier just for you to go to my plain old blog, inspiredbygraham.com, because that's a lot of characters for you to look at. Or you can just do a screenshot, whatever's easiest for you. So that one is expiring tomorrow at midnight, or ends at 8 p.m. actually. And then Card Club. So Card Club was marketed finally. Let's see, Tuesday night? Yes, Tuesday night. So it was very, very late Tuesday night. Hopefully I got it all straight in there. But I am offering my Card Club design for December. Are these 4 cards here, and I'll go over them really quick, not really quickly, but I'll kind of go, let's see, let me put them in order of difficulty, actually. They're really not difficult. I try to make Card Club easy every single month. So if you do not have the stamp set or dies, it'll be easy interchangeable. But this one is actually using a Blackberry Bliss card base here. And it is cut a little bit different than our normal one. It's an inch shorter. And then I used a couple punches here. And then here's one of the die cuts from the stamp set in the bundle there. And the inside, so what I did was this. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I think it's kind of cool how I did this. So I used the scallop contours dies right here. And when it's shut, you can kind of see it looks like the scalloped, very vanilla under here is actually attached to the front. I lined it up so it kind of looked kind of cool. Then, you know what I could have done? I'm just looking at this. I could have done that in Blackberry Bliss and it would have popped a little bit more. And then I could have just done or die cut a deckled rectangle or something to put on the front, or just a rectangle, but maybe I will still change it up. Who knows? I'm always into doing that. But that's number 1. I'm going to include 3 yards of the linen trim, linen thread this month, and the opal rounds as well, but only 50. So this past weekend I had I don't know if Pam's on here or not, but she kind of she told me that her embellishment drawer, she's been with Card Club for like probably when it's like very first began. She says, Karen, my embellishment drawer is getting so full. So I said, well, I really thought about that. And I said, you know what, maybe others are too that have been in it for like almost 3 years. So I decided that I would maybe mix it up a little bit here and there and just kind of do little bits and pieces of Stampin' Up! Products so you can get a little bit more variety in your craft room supplies. So 3 yards of the linen thread here you'll receive. Opal rounds, they come in a pack of 50, 2 different sizes you'll get, or a pack of 100, and 2 different sizes you'll receive 50 of those. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is actually one of my favorites here. I like how this kind of like grid paper, kind of journaling paper, record keeping is underneath here. I'm working with Early Espresso base, and then I've got crumb cake, and then I use my scallop contours dies to die cut this out. Now you will need to have those in your craft room in order to die cut this piece of designer series paper. If you don't, you can purchase them, or you can just cut this down to a little bit smaller than the crumb cake. And I use a double, the oval punch there, double oval punch to create the little sentiment, focal point. These I colored in with Petal Pink blends. And then on the inside, I used the Scallop Contours dies again, and I added one of the die cuts in Petal Pink. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, I cased this from one of the demonstrators that went to St. George back in May. But I changed it up a little bit to what I kind of liked. She had put this piece here, that's the lighter designer series paper in basic white. I changed mine to actually the designer series paper. And then this is basic black using the stylish shapes. Can't say that very quickly. Square. So I made it more of a different kind of angle. And then this is stamped and die cut in Memento black. However, you can, there's a pattern in the designer series paper that you can fussy cut, so you don't need to have the stamp set. Everybody has a happy birthday, so you know that's good. But I really want to sell you the product, but I know that you may already have this or something very close. And then on the inside, I added more of that matching designer series paper here. This is a deckled rectangle die cut here, and this is a I stamped that in, actually I think I stamped that in Early Espresso and then lightly colored it in with my Stampin' Blends. It's number 3. And then number 4 is a flower pot card. And I'm working with this one tonight because I want to change it up. And when I had this all together, I thought the pot here was too plain. So I embossed this with gingham embossing folder. So you'll see that different. The other thing is, this is one of those easel cards. So I know you probably can't see this, but it does. So it will come this way in the mail, regular A2 card. And then on display, you can display it this way. Or if you put one of the opal rounds a little bit closer to the scoring area there, you can be a little bit more straight up. Now, I know that's probably really hard for you guys to see, but hopefully you'll get what I'm talking about. So then if we turn it around, okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna do it this way. So this is where I got the hot mess, right? Because blends bleed. So I asked my team, okay, what would you guys recommend? I was gonna do cardstock embossed. Very vanilla, but Debbie, who's I'm not sure on here or not, I'm taking her advice and I'm actually going to show you tonight. I'm going to do it for the first time, see if it's going to work. I'm going to cut out a piece of designer series paper that matches this here, and then see if I can glue it on the back side and then make it look a lot better. Here's another one of the deckled rectangles, which you can write a message on right there. So this is kind of fun. It goes on display. I'm toying between, I think I'm going to stamp or color these in Highland Heather instead of Petal Pink tonight, just to show you a different color that I thought would work really nicely with this paper as well. So that is my card club. So right now you get 4 different card kits. Just like this, you'll get 2 of each. So you'll make eight beautiful cards. They come with all the card bases, panels, punched out shapes, die cuts, pre-stamped images, and stamped die cuts are not included. Like this, this one right here is not stamped, it's colored, but this one right here is actually stamped, okay? So that is not included. This stamped happy birthday is not included. Anything that's stamped is not included. All right, so then you'll get Abigail Rose Designer Series paper, a 6x12 pack. That's 12 sheets. You'll get Wink Stella, because every one of these here has the Wink Stella on it. Half a pack of the opal rounds, so 50 pieces, 2 different sizes. Linen thread, about 3 yards. 1 sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals, because you know we all need Stampin' Dimensionals. I do complete written instructions, which are printed out in color and shipped with your kits. You will also receive the PDF by email as soon as it is shipped or within 24 hours after shipping. I do a pre-recorded video with step-by-step instructions for each of the card kits. And if there's anything that's not available, I do have the right to substitute as I feel needed. So, and that has only happened a couple times since like almost 3 years of doing Card Club for you guys. So that is Card Club. The other last thing I have for you guys is, let me just get rid of some of this other stuff here. My, I don't know if you guys saw that I did a a like crafting kit, right? So let me just get these in front of you here. This was a huge success, you guys, and I'm going to be doing more crafting kits for you. My next one is going to be list pads, so make sure you are up to date on my channel or my blog or newsletter. So this here was a kit. You received everything to make with this kit. These are the patterns of paper that I used for my samples. I had a feminine, child, and a kind of masculine theme. I like camping, so that's kind of both, male and female, and especially kids too. But I don't have a lot of this paper left, so I will substitute accordingly. Make sure I have a masculine, child, and feminine. But I do have a few extra kits left. So if you're interested, it's a first come, first serve basis. It's $20. That's it. I think I underpriced it a little bit. So that's okay. I want you guys to experience one of my kits. And I think you'll find that they're going to be fun to do. And maybe it gives you kind of a craft fair, farmer's market idea, or you can just craft on your own, or maybe with, family or friends or a grandson, granddaughter. Or make these for birthday gifts too. So you can find that information on my blog, inspiredbygraham.com. So again, I do have a few of these and I can ship them out really quickly. I could possibly get them in the mail by Saturday, so you'll receive them by Christmas. All right, I also have like my adhesive kit that I'm going to be marketing. I also going to be marketing a journal. So lots of things coming up in Karen's world. Hopefully I can keep my craft room very clean, but that's always a challenge for me too. So in any event, this is the Cottage Flowers dies. I made a template for you guys, so I thought it would be a little bit easier for you to view what the stamp set and dies offer. The bundle is $53. So if you order this today, $53 plus maybe you want to get the Petal Pink Stampin' Blends, that's $9. So you got to get up to the 75 to reach the free shipping. But I love these little detailed ones here. I used this one here and this one in Card Club. I used this one here. It has lots of nice sentiments here. And also this one, which is, let me just show it to you. It's fairly large, actually. This one here is this one. And what I would suggest, and I was going to do it for Card Club, but then I thought I liked the other one instead. You can put designer series paper. So if you cut this like 4 by 5 1/4, and you add designer series paper underneath it, then you'll have all kinds of different, it might look, I think I've seen it and it looks really, really cool. So, or if you do like let's see, not like floral, or just kind of like a neutral kind of pattern, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, I think you guys understand. If you put something underneath that, you're going to get all these little designs, and that looks pretty cool too. But nice stamp set. I know it's been out for a while. Karen has not had it in her craft room because I don't know why. Because I really like this one, and I hope that I can use this a little bit more in my craft room. But anyway, we are going to get started. Here is the one I put on my Instagram, and I've gotten quite a few likes on it. This is Highland Heather with So Saffron and Old Olive, and I am going to color with those colors tonight just to give you an option to see what it would look like instead of Petal Pink. All right, so let me grab my kits. I'm going to work on this one first. Okay, if you can't stay till the end of this live, I will have this saved on my YouTube channel and also cross-posted over to Facebook as well with the link. So no need to, you can always review the replay. Okay, so here's this one. All right, my card kit's here. And I did not create one of those double bows, so I'm gonna have to do that on the other card. So let me put that one away. We're focusing on this one here. So my card base is Early Espresso. Let me get all the pieces out. Okay, we're gonna go through everything. So Early Espresso, 4 1/4 by 11. I've already scored it at 4 or 5 1/2. And while I have this piece here, I'm just gonna use my bone folder, my messy old bone folder, to just burnish that so it lays flat for us. Okay, then here's one of the die cuts. This is in Petal Pink. I didn't have time to die cut this in Highland Heather, but you guys will know it. Highland Heather looks awesome. Here are the punch shapes, the oval, double oval punch, which is really nice to have in a craft room. And I'm going to pull out the pieces that we need to stamp. Here's the scallop contours. And then here's the designer series paper that is pre-cut with the scallop contours dies, the same size as the inside panel there. We need this one here. Okay, let's see, what else do we need? Envelopes. I really didn't stamp my envelopes yet, so I'll do that. I'll do that another time, just because this is probably going to take a little while. So anyway, we're going to put together the things that are actually a little bit easier to put together so we can get rid of some of these little tiny pieces. So I'm going to work with this sheet here. That's one side, and this is the other side. It's like an accountant's journaling page, I guess. That's what I remember most with my mom when we were really young. Like, I don't know how young we were, but probably like maybe less than 10 years old. We had to go to my dad was a contractor, so he builds houses. He used to build houses. So my mom always did the accounting side of the business, but they did use an accountant. So we always had to go to Burlington every once in a while to the accountant's office, and we had to sit in the car and wait and wait and wait. But that kind of reminds me of my old childhood days when we used to use this kind of accounting paper. Now it's all computerized, right? Okay, so that's a 4 by 5 1/4 piece. And then the next piece here is the one I'm going to color for you guys. Now, if you notice here, I colored 3 of the flowers because what? Odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. So let me grab some scrap paper, which I did have out here. It's underneath everything, I'm sure. Or it's right in front of me. I'm just going to grab another piece. I need a small piece. Okay, so I'm going to grab, this is one that's actually, it's a little bit different. So we never know what we're going to get. Highland Heather, so dark and light. It's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to color in the foliage or anything like that. So I always like to start with my darker color, and I primarily use the chisel point. The other thing you might want to do before you start coloring is figure out where your sentiment is going to go. Okay, because you don't want to color a flower and have it be put over. So if to do that, what you want to do is just take your panels here, and we're just going to kind of work with it. Pretend it's all kind of put together. And then where would you want your sentiment to go? That's a little bit too high. And I think the best place will be to cover up this flower here. Because if you go over here, it's kind of a little bit messy. And I want to see this flower here. This scallop covers up most of that tulip. So I think that's okay to do right there. So that's where it's going to go. So then what flowers do I want to color? I'm going to color this one here, and then I'm going to work with it. So don't forget triangles. So I'm probably going to go here, here, and oh, maybe, I don't know. Let's work with this one first. You know me, I can't decide. All right, so let's grab this. And now this doesn't matter that it bleeds through, because it's going to be covered up by the crumb cake. Okay, so for me, I like to just kind of go around the edges, and wherever there's lines, I'm going to add the darker color. So I'm just kind of like, I'm no perfect coloring person here. I just kind of wing it. And this is a brand new Highland Heather, so it's got lots of ink in it. So it does come out rather fast. So you kind of have to be careful with that when you get your new blends. It's definitely a different feel to them when they're new versus when you've been using them for a little bit. Like my Petal Pink has definitely been used, so it's just a different feel. Okay, so I've got those. And I'm going to add the cap here. And I like to color my flowers one at a time. So this is just the lighter one. And for me, it doesn't really matter what I do. I'm just going to cover up all of this paper here so we make it all Highland Heather. And then I'll probably see how it dries and then maybe go back with a darker color. I'm not going to look at message or any comments right now because I'm going to focus on this, and then I'll go scroll back to see if you guys have any questions or comments or what have you. Okay, so that's one. The next one is going to be, this is going to be hard because how these are. I might go here, here, and here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that because then... yeah, let's try it. We never know until we try it. Oops, I want the darker one. What I did when I first started coloring it, I took a piece of the designer series paper that had the edge pieces here, and I tried to decide which coloring I wanted to do. Originally, I was going to do this Highland Heather for Card Club, but then I switched back to the Petal Pink. Just because kind of the Petal Pink goes with this one. But you guys can use any colors that you want. It's totally up to you. I have this like color coach, and I've had it for a number of years. And when I don't really know how I want my color schemes to go, I do look at that, and I'll look at like early espresso, I'll look at Petal Pink, those colors, and see which one kind of is in that's kind of like in both of those. So if it's Highland Heather that shows up that is in Petal Pink, well then, and if it shows up in Early Espresso in the color coach, let me just show you what I'm trying to say. So here's my old color coach. So this one's Highland Heather, and this is a few years ago, so it might change by now, but Highland Heather, Blackberry Bliss, and Pool Party go nicely together, or Melon Mambo, or Pumpkin Pie, and Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz. So that's how I kind of came up with some of the coloring for a card club. But that's how I do it, and I do refer to that quite a bit. Okay, so now the next one, which one do I want to color? I think because this one is too close to this tulip here, I'm going to go way up here and just color that one and call it good. So let me just grab my dark once again, and I'm just going to go around the edge here and just kind of go over those lines. And get the tops of those. Now I don't know where you guys are all watching from. I know, well, some of you are my downlines watching, but we are going to get a snowstorm tomorrow. And I think over 100 schools in Vermont are already closed for tomorrow, which gives them a super long weekend, right? So that's kind of what happens here is... if they expect more than, I don't know, 8 inches of snow, or 5 inches sometimes, depending on how cold it is, they'll cancel school. Now, when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, we would go to school with 2 feet of snow. So things have definitely changed over time. But we sucked it up and we went to school. Some of us rode our snowmobiles to school. I don't know if you guys have ever ridden snowmobiles, but I grew up on snowmobiles. So we would go for a weekend trip all day, you know, do 50 miles, roast hot dogs on the trail, what have you. It was so much fun. It's one things that I do remember of my childhood days. All right, there we go. As you can see, these have already dried. This one is drying, so it should be a little bit lighter once we get this all together. And then this is the back side of the designer series paper. You can see how that is just horrible. So we want to cover that up. Okay, here's our base. And then we're going to adhere this one here to the crumb cake. And that's adhered straight on. I'm not using any kind of dimensionals. So I'm going to use my liquid glue in this situation. I got a new bottle here, so it should come out super fast. And let me just grab that. And this is just going to get adhered onto this crumb cake. It's a rectangle. It's just a little bit bigger than the die cut of the designer series paper. All right, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to flip this one over. You can always rub it from the back side too to make sure it's secure. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals and add 5 of them, 1 to each corner and then 1 in the middle. All right, and then we're going to push those down, make sure they are well attached, and I'll grab my Take Your Pick tool, and then we're just going to take those backings right off. And then we'll throw those backings right in the recycling. Karen's putting her Take Your Pick tool back where it's supposed to go so she can find it later. Now we're going to adhere this. Let's make sure, actually, we're going to put this on the correct way. I don't want it upside down. So it's looking pretty good. Now you can see that tulip on the upper right corner has now dried and is getting a little, it's getting to the color shading as those over there. So I think it's pretty straight, so we'll call it good. Okay, we do need to do some stamping, so let's do that right now. All right, so we need this. We don't need that one. We need just this one here. So we're going to work with Early Espresso. That is our card base, and the sentiment is going to be feel better real soon. So let's see if I can do a good job getting this straight. Yep, not too bad. Now, you guys know how I stamp my envelopes. I would not stamp it feel better soon on the outside. What I would do is take one of the floral patterns. Probably I would choose this one right here or here to decorate the front. Because who wants to see this feel better real soon on the outside of an envelope, right? All right, so I'm going to take my seal. Let me start this. This one's brand new too. All of my adhesives seem to have run out at the same time. Okay, so this one just gets layered on here. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to rub it from the back side just in case I have some ink on my fingers. I don't want to kind of mess that up. This one is going to get popped up. So let's grab 2 of the dimensionals and put those on. Again, we'll press those down and make sure they're on there secure, and then just remove those backings real quick. And then this is where we're going to figure out where we want it. Actually, I might actually move this up a little bit now that I see I don't really like that now down in here. So I'm going to put it in this area here where there's really no flowers. Yeah, right here. We're going to keep that flower. So it's visible. All right, bring that up to the camera a little bit. All right, then the next thing now, normally this would have been Highland Heather, but I didn't have time to die cut that out before coming on live. So this here is really a small, very delicate flower. We do have the fine tip glue pen, which I haven't used in probably I don't know, a year, but I have 2 bottles of it. So let me just grab my scrap paper so you might be able to see it a little bit better. Whoa, this is really delicate. I'm not going to, so what I'm going to do is this has got a little needle on it and hopefully it didn't dry. But I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right to the edges of the flower here. And then a little bit more right in here because that's a bigger piece of the cardstock. And then in here too. So just little taps. And you're squeezing the bottle ever so lightly. And then we're just moving that needle around. Just put up a little bit more up here too. All right, now this is gonna be the tricky part. You can use your tweezers, like you might want to do that. I'm gonna grab my crafting tweezers and to pick this up. And then I'm gonna flip it around and I'm going to just move this over. Okay, you can use a block to press it down. Isn't that really cute? You still have enough room to write a little note. Now this one here, I used, where is it? Right here. This one I used a different flower, so you can kind of see the 2 different die cuts in there. They're both really pretty. I love it. All right, so then let's take this scalloped. Oh, that looks really pretty, you guys. All right, so let me just grab my Stampin' Seal here and just add a little bit to each side. And then we'll add this. You could add designer series paper underneath this panel, but it also looks really nice just as is. Now you want to be careful. You're coming around here to just kind of press around the edges. All right, so the final step would be to add our opal rounds, but I don't have any left, and they'll be here in 2 days. So that means they'll be here Monday because my order shipped today. So I'm going to use the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I think the bigger ones are just too overpowering, so I'm going to try to focus just on the smaller ones. And I'm just going to add 3 of them. So 1, I'm going to actually do put a medium one in this area here because it's a bigger space. And then I'm going to go right up here too. So let's grab a little tiny one. Now what's kind of different is that these iridescent gems here have a flat top. So that's good for the mail system. Okay, that is it for number 1. I'll put them side by side and you guys can let us know which one you like, Petal Pink, Highland Heather, or both. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get ready for the second card. And I'm also going to scroll through the messages to see if I have anything. It looks like I've got my team here. So awesome. All right. If you're not on my team, you should be. There's going to be a joint special in January, and that's offering the mini cut and emboss in the new color coming out. All right. Petal Pink. So Carla's saying Petal Pink. Petal Pink is, I'm looking at it now at the laptop from a different angle, and I agree. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the Wink of Stella on them. So I can do that while you guys are voting. The Wink of Stella just adds a little bit of glitter and shine to the ink. I don't color in the whole thing. I just kind of do a light brush stroke on it, and it just gives a nice subtle glitter effect. And it really does make the flowers pop a little bit more. You'll see it more with the Highland Heather than you will with the Petal Pink, just because it's darker color. And you can see that that Highland Heather is getting a little different color, but it should dry back to normal. See, I'm just doing brush strokes up. Okay. There we go. So that should be a little bit better with this little shine. Let me just show you. I don't know if you can see it or not. I definitely can see it. The lighting's not great in my craft room at nighttime, but it does look really nice. All right, let's see. So we got petal pink and both. Okay. So Carla had freezing rain and sleet, then some snow. Needless to say, the cat didn't make it to the vets. Oh, I'm sorry. Is your cat sick? Oh, I hope it was just a checkup and that she's not sick or he's not sick. All right, I got to put this cap on the glue or else it's going to dry out. And it's a challenge because there's this little needle goes on that little piece of like it's a pin on the inside. It goes in the barrel. And sometimes I struggle with it. And it looks like I'm going to struggle with it tonight because I'm on camera. Okay, Karen, you got one more. Oh, shoot, I almost had it. I got it. Sweet. I don't want that barrel to dry out because it'd be a pain in the butt. But you can use a quilting needle to get that to work again. Okay, so next up is the flower pot card. So let's put these aside. And this is the one I had colored before. So I'm going to try to make this again, especially with the variegated coloring. So here's the card. Now my kit pieces are off to the side, so let me grab those. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to do first? I think what I was gonna do is I've already fussy cut it, so you guys don't have to see me fussy cutting, except for this edge here. I chose an edge piece because I want to show you how you can use your edge pieces. So let's look at a 6x12 that I kind of only used a little bit of and see how this here has got it's straight. Don't worry about that. You can totally use any of the edge pieces in this pattern, even this little tiny one here. You could color this in, fussy cut it out, and then you could add it, let me just find, I don't know, just pretend. We're doing a lot of pretending. But if you had a vanilla panel under here, you could attach it right to the middle here. And that would look really nice on the inside of your card. So don't forget to use these pieces. Don't throw those out because they make really nice images and kind of like an embellishment. But these are the patterns. So you don't need, this is just to be used as fussy cutting, or you can cut panels out of it. But this one is huge, although you were losing a little bit, but that's okay. So what I did was, I think this is the one I used. Yes, let's see. Yes, this is the one I chose, and that's this one here. Okay. This one is the same, almost the same pattern. Let's see. No, it's not. But what I was trying to teach you, I'm going to show you how you can make this a little bit better, and it will still look nice in the flower pot, hopefully. We're just going to wing this one, so hopefully it does look fine. What I'm going to do right now, though, before I lose any pieces, these are all going back in my envelope. Okay, so Highland Heather. And I also used Old Olive for my blend, so I'm going to pull those out. Now, I'm going to try to go fast. This is kind of like a variegated look, so I'm going to try to create this look again. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with Highland Heather, but it's going to be the center one. The first one I'm going to do and color in is going to be the... I'm going to actually color in the middle one because that's where I need to go first with my hands here. So this one is, I'm going to try to make it a little bit variegated. Okay, so I'm just going to carefully color around the lines. And then, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with, this is going to be way too is going to be way too dark. Even the light one is going to be too dark. So I'm going to color it in. But what I did with this one is I used a darker petal pink, and I only shaded the areas and colored the areas where it has lines. And I left the other alone. So these are all fully colored, and those are only colored on the lines. But this one, let's just color it in the way I did earlier on the previous card. I am all tongue-tied tonight. Okay. So we are going to go right around this one. This is going to take a little bit. So if you need to go get a beverage, a snack, what have you, you have time to do that, because this will probably take me a good 10 minutes to color. Right. So I'm just turning my paper with my left hand just to spin it. And then when I get to a comfortable position where I can kind of brush stroke it up, that's when I start to do that. And then there's another little layer here. And then there's a little petal right there. Can easily miss that one. And then we'll go up here. What you could do too is only color in that center one and leave the other ones alone. We could see what that looks like after we get this first one colored in. Maybe that's what we end up doing. Just so you can see a different way of just coloring the designer series paper. So now if I was to want to color the whole sheet, you got a 12 by 12 of this. Get a good movie, maybe a Hallmark movie. How many of you guys watch Hallmark movies? Or action-packed drama, or maybe binge Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I don't even have time to watch Netflix. And if I watch any movies or anything like that, it's on a rare occasion. And usually I have a TV in my craft room, actually. And it's more for listening purposes, because I need to have something in the background. It helps me focus a little bit more. It's either going to be a radio or it's going to be a show that I don't really have to watch. I can just listen to. Like, I always love to watch Sunday morning, Face the Nation. I love news shows. And let's see. Is there a particular show that you guys like to watch, and that, well, not maybe watch or just listen to? Maybe have it as background noise. I do, primarily it's news for me, just because I really don't have to watch the screen unless it's a really important news flash or something like that, where what stops us in our tracks and we have to watch. But that's what keeps me going and focused. Or podcasts too. Podcasts are good. I just got into Spotify podcasts. My husband recommended it was a hiker podcast on the long trail. So I listened to that. It was only like 20 minutes, but it was really cool. So guess what? Now I'm binging on Spotify. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave that a little bit light. Actually, I'm going to just clear in that little. But that's looking good. I'm going to let that dry and see what that looks like. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the foliage, because I may not color in this big one and this one. I might just color in this and call it good. You can do so many things with this paper. You can leave it normal. You can leave it color just one thing. Color the little flowers. I can't believe I haven't used this paper yet. I've been kind of saving it. I'm more of a have colors in my paper. I don't like to I don't gravitate to paper like this, but man, I should have a lot sooner, because it's beautiful. You can color it however you want in your favorite colors. Right now I'm just doing like the shading of the leaves here, and then I'll go back with the lighter color. I like to just try to focus on one color rather than shifting my markers in my hands, and it's just a little bit quicker for me to do it this way. Can you guys hear my husband snoring? It's really early. What time is it? It's oh, it's 8 o'clock. Boy, I better get going. But he worked. No, he didn't work today. He had the day off. He didn't tell me until this morning. I worked about 4 hours, and then I did a couple other things and got home, and I took, you guys that are on my team will enjoy hearing this, I took a 2-hour nap. I could not believe it. It felt so good to sleep, and I slept next to our pellet stove, so it was like really nice and warm. And I was frozen, actually. We didn't have any heat in where I worked in the town hall this week. Some kind of board busted or something. I don't know. It's kind of technology type of thing. And we finally got the heat back today. But I tell you what, I was frozen. Even though we finally did get the heat back, it didn't heat our area as quickly as I wanted it to. So I was freezing. Glad I didn't have to work there all day. Oh shoot, look at that. I'm coloring that flower green. Oh geez, this is gonna be interesting. Let's see. Nobody, maybe, I don't know, nobody saw that, right? Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. This could be a total hot mess, you guys. But we'll have to figure that one out. All right, so all these little leaves here. All right, next up is the light shade of Old Olive. Oh boy. I hope I can salvage that. If not, then I will just show you guys how to trim it down, and I'll use this one over here that I've already colored. I probably will do that, but we're going to see. I'm going to finish coloring in the green leaves, and then see if I can salvage it. If not, we'll just move on. And maybe you guys have ideas for this one. While I'm coloring the foliage, you guys think about how I can fix. How can I fix this over here? What would you guys do if you were me? Well, you probably wouldn't made that mistake, but I will look back after I get done coloring and see if you guys have any good ideas for me. We can work together to fix this mistake. Okay, those are the main foliage. Actually, there's some over here that I want to get to. The little ones are really hard to see. Oh, here's one I missed. I'm just gonna, oh, here's one, another one. All right, let me just go back around, get this one fixed, filled in. Up here. Here's one. There's a little tiny flowers up here too. Okay. I am going to color the little tiny ones. So let's work on that one, and I'm going to still kind of figure this out over here. So I used a combination of Highland Heather and So Saffron markers. So I'm going to grab my So Saffron, and I did use the, let me see, I think I used the lighter shade of Highland Heather. So that's what I did first. Yeah, the lighter shade, and I just shaded the centers and where the darker lines are. These, Glenn's kind of singing a song in there. Okay, so that's that corner. Let me add the So Saffron. And I think I used the darker color. So let's try that. Yes. So what I did was I just colored in and I kind of blended down into the Highland Heather over top of it. And it made it a different, a lighter shade of the purple. What I was trying to get out of this was a pansy, you know, the pansy flowers. That's what I was trying to make out of this. I don't know if it kind of resembles that. It does for me, but I don't know about you guys. This one's a little tricky because there's lots of little flowers around this area. Okay, this one. I gotta look at this one here. Yep, that looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna go over here and focus on this little tiny area. And we'll just do the same thing. Okay, now let's fill it in with some yellow. There's some green, there's some stems in there that I want to hit with the old olives. Let me grab that. Okay. I'll just finish up over here. I think that's pretty good. Now these little tiny flowers here, what I did was I did some of them, I colored some of them So Saffron and some of them with the lighter shade of Highland Heather, and I just kind of tapped on it like that. And then there's a couple more. Let's see, where did I see them? I guess that's the only area. Okay, so that's what we got so far. If we want to see it on some black paper, it might be easier. Let me pull in this card here. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the comments and see what, actually, hold on. These are foliage. So let's fill in the foliage here because we know that's got to be green. I might be able to just cover it up with the Highland Heather, but oh, there's a little flower over here. See, just like you got to find these little things, right? Here's a little one. And there's a little one over here. I'll just color that. A little hint of the Highland Heather. Okay, so I'm gonna look at comments and see. Oh, adhere over mistake. Color lifter and then balmy blue. Balmy blue. I caught another, okay, embellishing butterflies. Oh, that would cover up a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Stamp another flower color and fussy cut out. Yep. I could do all of that. So, I really want to keep it. So I think I'm gonna try to cover it up with the Highland Heather. And I'm gonna see, oops, wrong end. See if what will happen. Color lifter, I do have the color lifter. Let me just try that. I don't know how it's gonna work on the designer series paper, but I could take off a little bit of it. I don't know if it's gonna come off or not. It's a little lighter, but not a lot. Maybe if I would have gotten to it sooner. But it is a little bit lighter, so we're going to try that. And let's go with a darker. Actually, I'm just going to look at something real quick. We could get out my chart here. Remember this little color coach? So Highland Heather. We got Blackberry Bliss. That would be really dark. And I don't know. I can't remember if we have blends in Blackberry Bliss or not. Another color option could be the Melon Mambo. That might work. Pool Party would be too light, would still see the green through it. So I'm going to say, do you guys want me to work with Melon Mambo, or we had a Balmy Blue vote as well? Which color would you guys like? I don't want to go with the pumpkin pie. That's just too like fallish. I want Melon Mambo, Pool Party, Highland Heather, or Balmy Blue. So I'll let you guys decide, and I'll give you just a couple seconds to decide what color you would like. I know, of course, my laptop, you know, it's like, takes forever to refresh. Hey, Joni. Hey, did you notice that I put all those links in for the crafting kits and where you can purchase the clipboards? Let me see. The coasters in the post-it notes, or sticky notes, I should say. And the binder clips are all in the description box of the video. So you can get that information and copy and paste it if you were looking to purchase any of those. Oh, you did see that. Perfect. Okay, I don't see any votes, so I think, I don't know what I want to do. I think what I'm going to do is grab my Melon Mambo. Ooh. Melon Mambo. Oops. Balmy Blue, which is, let's see, right here. You know what I could do? I could make them 3 colors and we'd be all good, right? We could make this one. Maybe we'll make this one the Melon Mambo, and this one Balmy Blue. Red and green make purple. But these are blends. I don't know how that would all work. But yes, you're right. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Melon Mambo. And we'll try to color up that green a little bit. And then we'll see what happens. So here we go. You can tell Karen's wicked focused right now. This Melon Mambo looks like Christmas colors. Hopefully it will. It's really, really dark. I'm right on the edge of the designer series paper, so I gotta be careful there. Okay. We're gonna have a colorful pot of flowers. Some of this will probably get cut off, so that'll be okay, because we're gonna try to get rid of those harsh straight edges. All right, so I think that's good. Let's cap this one, and we're gonna go with the lighter shade. It is actually coloring, it is covering up the green. I don't know how it will dry, but it is darker edge. Darker than normal. I'm probably going to go around this twice just because the light is a little too light. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go down to the smaller flower here and color that one balmy blue, and then I'm going to go back to this one. So I've got the darker balmy blue. Wait, is that a... Yeah, that's a petal. I couldn't tell if that was a petal or if it was foliage, but this is the petal of the flower over here. You guys, can you guys tell me if you can... Oh my gosh, Glenn is snoring so loud right now. And my craft room is in a spare bedroom upstairs. It's right next to our bedrooms. I can hear him snoring. I don't know what he's singing and his snoring, but whoo, is that loud. I'm really surprised that you can't. If you can't hear it, I'm really surprised if you can't. He's probably would not be happy that I was talking about him right now. All right, now the lighter balmy blue. This really doesn't look like balmy blue in a way. It's got a little gray in it or something. And it could be just the designer series paper. I think this is going to turn out great, you guys. I like all the colors. Okay, there's two little flowers right there that are little ones, but I think I'm going to cut those off. All right, I'm going to go back to this one here, and I'm going to use the lighter shade of Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to use the brush tip just to make this a little bit darker. Now, when you're using the brush tip, do not press down on it or else that tip will break. Meaning, do not use it like the chisel point. It's more used for blending, and I actually use the side of it. So just be really careful. My participants at my Parks and Rec class, I kind of joked with them last time because I've had a few of these break because they don't realize that, even though I tell them, they don't realize that, you know, you could break the tips. Well, I told them that in order to use them, they had to pass the Karen's test, the blending test. But I was kind of joking, but none of them, I don't think any of them took it seriously. Okay, we're just going to cover this up. I'm taking the darker shade of Balmy Blue and just coloring in over the light shade. It's still going to just give us a little bit different shading. Now the center of those, I'm going to color Crumb Cake because that's the color that is in the Designer Series paper. So let me grab a Crumb Cake out of here. And I'll probably just use the darker shade. Actually, that's light. And there's our darker color. So I'm just going to color in the centers here. We're almost done, you guys. This is going to turn out awesome. Oh, that's so pretty, you guys. These little yellow ones need something in the middle. So let me just grab the Crumb Cake here and just kind of dot those. Sweet. Okay, let me pick up all these blends, and I have a little basket there. Now, see that straight edge and that straight edge? We got to get rid of that as best we can. So I like to use my paper snips to do this. And I would first go to the obvious locations, which is here. So I'm just going to fussy cut around this the best I can. I'm not that great at it, but I'm still learning. And then I'm going to curve it. Now I got to figure out, I want these on here. So you can kind of go into the flower, the leaves here to get rid of the straightness. And then I'm going to go into this area here where there's a little bit of white. And then here, let's kind of get rid of there. There's a little like V you can make here. And then this is kind of straight. So let's curve this one here. Still looks a little straight. I want to keep this one here. Let me just, let's, I'm gonna have to fix this. It's gonna go in my pot. Let's grab that pot. Well, where's the pot? I already embossed it. I know I did. It's over here. I used the gingham embossing folder. So on the original card here, it's all just early espresso. And I thought that looked a little boring. So I went for Card Club. I'm going to have it embossed. And I used the gingham embossing folder. So what we can do is kind of figure out how we want this to look. So here's the original. And, oops, we want it underneath. No, it's going to go over, so shoot. I'm just going to keep turning it around. Oh, that looks pretty this way, but it is definitely too, that's good. Now, it's over here that doesn't work very well. So let's start working on this area here. It's a fun little game. Just trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. I think I'm going to go with it. What do you think? Even though it is kind of straight edge, I think it's going to be okay. Oh, that is so pretty, you guys. Okay, thank you for your advice on the balmy blue. I was really nervous about that one, but man, all these colors look so good together. I know it's supposed to go, actually, let's put it this way. We could angle it. I don't know. We'll figure it. Yeah, it looks much better like this. Then you can't really tell that's more of a straight edge. Okay, so we're going to go that way, and we can kind of put one of the linen thread bows down here. Okay, we're done with that. Let's do some stamping now. So we have the best wishes, and this is using the, oh, what are these called? I haven't used them in so long. The painted label dies. Again, I'm going to stamp in the early espresso best wishes. And this sentiment, I've had the hardest time getting it centered. Now, this label has a little etching around the edge, so make sure that is facing you. And I think my problem is my eyes really focused on the cursive word rather than the word best. Okay, I got that one straight. Or not straight, but it's centered, okay? So in this one, you can see it's a little bit off. That was really, there's more of a vanilla side, but that's pretty good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the deckled rectangles. So we'll need a little bit of the old olive ink, and I actually don't know what I did with the old olive ink. So we might go with Pear Pizzazz. So let me grab my Pear Pizzazz. Let's see. Oh, no, here's Old Olive. All right, so I got the foliage here. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need this. Don't need this. We're going to have to figure out what shade of the Old Olive we need. So how I do that is I just take a piece of scrap paper, and I usually do 4 generations of ink. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now it's going to be fab is our words, and that is in early espresso. So then this is always going to be full strength. So we're going to stamp here. Obviously that doesn't work. That one's a little bit better, but I think it's still too dark. I think this one is the 3rd generation foliage is going to be the best, because really the 4th generation, you really can't see it. So I'm going to go with 3rd generation stamping. So here's that deckled rectangle in Very Vanilla. So we will ink up the foliage again, excuse me, in Old Olive. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to angle this. Okay. There's a little place to write, just a little tiny place. Now we're going to take the other stamp here, which says it's going to be fab, F-A-B, by the way. And that just gets inked up. 1st generation ink. And there's a little bit of stamping in the background, and you've got your words on top. I really like to do that. That really helps to fill in a background if you want to just add a little bit of, just make it different. I think I have everything I need. Oh, that's right. We got to fix this mistake, right? And I did mention I was going to use Designer Series paper, because, you know, blends do seep through. So this is what we would see on the back side, right? And we really don't want to see that. So one of my downlines, Debbie, I don't know if she's watching tonight, but she suggested putting some designer series paper behind it. Okay, so I chose more of a basic, like a basic pattern. And I'm going to use, I really don't know if this is going to work because I've never tried it. So we're just going to do this together and we'll see what happens. Now, come on. I don't want a lot of this to come out. So I'm just going to try to get it to the edge as best as I can. Okay, just going to turn this with my left hand here. And then I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Try not to get my hands all messy. Okay, now we'll add this to the other piece. And this really doesn't have, it's not directional, so that's okay. We can just, I'm going to add this right down here. Now I'm going to take a block because I want this to be adhered really well. Now I probably would let this dry for more than like 30 seconds. Okay. To clean this, you can just use your like rubbing alcohol. So this is a little sticky. I'm going to get my embossing buddy because I think we need to get rid of that stickiness. So hold on just a second. All right, got my embossing buddy here. I actually got two of them. I'm just going to tame down the stickiness. Have you guys ever tried that? If you got like sticky glue everywhere? I can't use my eraser because there's just too much glue on it. So if you use your embossing buddy, that will work. All right, here we go. Fussy cutting. All right, so we don't care about that side. And this should go a little bit quicker just because I've already cut it. But this is the only way we could think about if you're using blends. Now, if you're using watercolor pencils, this won't happen. But I really like how the blends worked. I actually prefer using blends. But if you were use the watercolor pencils, you definitely want to use the blending brush as well. Okay, so this one goes down in here. I think what I'm going to do is I didn't get this blue flower all the way to the edge, so it has a little bit of a border. I'm just going to keep that for right now. And I'm just going to cut this off so it's easier to hold. Actually, adding the designer series paper on the back really gives it a nice little edge now. So the straightness actually doesn't look as bad. So it's really sticky. I'm gonna have to clean my scissors. But I would have waited until it was dry, but you know, can't do that right now. So we'll just wing it. This is the area that's going to be a little bit difficult, so I'm just going to get most of this off right now. And then I can just go back. Did any of you guys take advantage of the free shipping today? There's still a few hours left. I don't know what time it is, but it ends at midnight or just before midnight Mountain Time. So wherever you're watching from, you may have just a few hours left, or may you have a little bit more than us on the East Coast, but definitely a great offer. $75 order gets you free shipping. So I actually took advantage of placing 3 orders today, 1 expedited. And the thing with the expedited shipping is that they you have to pay for the expedited portion of it, but that is so much less than I normally would have had to pay. So I did 1 order that way, and then I ordered what else did I order? Oh, the mini cut and emboss machine, because I want to have that. There's a great sign-on bonus coming in January. So if you need a catalog or any kind of brochures about that, let me know. I can certainly send you out some of the brochures and the mini catalog that's coming up in January. And there's only going to be 1 celebration next year, you guys. So definitely want to take advantage of celebration and all the free products that come with it with specific orders. I can guarantee you, you're going to love the designer series paper and the stamp sets that are in there. Okay, that's not too bad. And look, that's what the back of it looks like now. So I think that was a great suggestion by Debbie. So thank you so much, Debbie. And now we can go with it. So hopefully I haven't lost all the pieces. Get my area a little bit cleaner so we can get this going. Put everything away. I'm going to use the Wink of Stella after. Okay, so we're working with crumb cake as our card base. So let me grab that. And I've already scored it. So it's 4 1/4 by 11. Scored at 5 1/2. Actually, I scored it this way. I put it in the trimmer this way, the long edge at the top. This is at 2 3/4, and this is at 5 1/2. Okay, so you're going to need your bone folder, and mine is right here. Okay, so just going to fold it like this. And now this one gets folded because it's going to go like this. Okay, so you just fold it this way. All right, so we got the score lines. Okay, I don't know if you can see that straight down or not. So we got that. Now, if you want to use the reference, here's what this one looks like. So we're going to grab our piece here. This is, I use 1/8 of an inch. Now, if you don't like to use 1/8 of an inch, just change it to quarters. So this piece here it's 4 1/8 across by 2 5/8. So if you don't like that, go 4 by 2 1/2. Oh, wait, is that right? 2 1/2? Or yes, I think. Yes, 2 1/2. So it just got a little tiny border on the end. So this is directional paper because you can see that the flowers are going upwards towards the sun. So let's grab our liquid glue, because I like to use liquid glue to slide it in place, especially when it's just 1/8 of an inch borders. Whoa, okay. Got that on there. And we're just going to add this one to the center here. All right, there. I didn't have it straight, so, and I got glue oozing out everywhere. Let me grab some, I gotta get some wipes. I like having these wipes in my craft room right underneath, right in my cabinet there. And they smell really fresh. Okay. So let me just grab this and just take a little bit of that glue off. There we go. Now this one here, again, is 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And this is directional, so you figure out which way it goes Okay, I think it looks good this way. Originally, I don't know, I think it was like, I honestly don't remember how that pattern works in the 12 by 12. But this is the side that we just used for that, the flowers that are going in the pot. Just add your liquid glue, and then we're going to put this right on here. Again, we're matching up to this piece of the Abigail rose. And then we're going to use the same pattern up here. So kind of broke it up into pieces here. So light, dark, and light. And I go that way. Or you could do, I think that would look not really good. So we're just going to go with the flow here. And then this one here. I'm not going to add the best wishes yet. We're going to flip this over. And then let's add this one here. Can get a little confusing, so just take your time. All right, this is going to go here. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I'd rather use Stampin' Seal or Seal Plus for any basic white or very vanilla panels. And this is a really tight squeeze, but this deckled rectangle does fit in here. You could go with a smaller size if you wanted to, but I wanted to get it close to the score lines. Okay, so that's all set on that side. Now let's go back to the front. Oh, now I'm getting confused here. Okay, so now we need the darker piece here, this panel, and directional, of course. So we want it going up towards the sun. Once you get the flowers all colored, this card is actually quite easy to make. Just cut everything out ahead of time, and then it's a beautiful card that you can actually mass produce in really no time. Just get them all colored first and then go to town with it. Okay, so now we're going to be working with the flower pot itself. This barely fits. Now you want it to go so it doesn't get hung up in the score line there. Okay, so I put mine right on the edge of the crumb cake. And I'm going to use the liquid glue on this as well. Doesn't matter which side because it looks the same on both. And then we're just going to center this one. Again, I want to be below that score line. Okay. While that's drying, let me take my linen thread and make a cute little bow here. And I'm going to grab my bow maker. And you guys can watch me make a bow because I can't make these bows for the life of me freehand. So in Card Club this month, you're going to receive 3 yards of the linen thread. And that's more than what you need to make your cards. So I always give you extra supplies so you can use on future projects as well. All right, so I got 2 pieces here. And then I'm just going to wrap this around. I know it's too much linen thread, but right now I'm dealing with carpal tunnel and trigger finger. So that's what I get for hiking with poles, trekking poles. But it's so much easier to tie it for me using the X, a little bit more. Although I had a cortisone shot in my carpal tunnel yesterday, and it feels a little bit better. All right, we're going to cut this down, but we won't do that yet. Okay, so now we're going to work with this and figure out which direction do we want it to go. And then we'll add our dimensionals on it. Because you can see that it's only adhered from here down. So, I want it to go that way. We're just going to turn it. That's not looking good anymore because I don't like the foliage way up there. That's totally not right. So we only really have two options. I'm going to go with this one because I like these flowers need to be going upwards anyway. So what we need to do is we need to figure out where our dimensionals need to go. We don't want to put them past up above here because then it will stick and it won't work. So we're going to flip this over. I like to put my, like pinch it right here, flip it and switch over. I didn't show you guys how to make that flower pot, but it's quite easy. Now, if you want, you can just use a pen or something. Here, let me just grab my watercolor pencil and just put a little tick mark there. So you don't want to put your dimensionals past that. Okay, I haven't lost my dimensionals yet. So we're going to put quite a few on here because we want to make sure that this does stay on really well. So I'm probably going to put 5. Put one right there. I think I'm going to go with 6 actually. Okay, that's pretty good. Push those down and we will take your pick tool just to take those backings off really quickly. And here we go. Oops, I got a dimensional that's, wait, no, it's just the backing. Okay, so what I do with this, because I want to make sure my dimensionals are not going to show, I am just going to put this down lightly, okay? Just so it's sticking very lightly. I will then take this and make sure on the back side I don't see any Stampin' dimensionals. I don't see them, so that is great. Then we're going to carefully bring this back and then we're going to press it down. That way it's stuck. All right, the next step is to figure out where we want our sentiment. Now, when I did this originally, I put the sentiment too far down and then I moved it up and it wasn't really enough up. So then I put one of the embellishments up higher and then it kind of works. So I think having it about, I don't know, 2 inches from the score line is going to be good. But I don't think I like this sentiment way up here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use, normally I would use the opal rounds, but I don't have those. I used all of them for my sample cards. So I'm going to just use the iridescent ones. And these are about the same size, so I know. And I'm going to put this right in the middle of the pot. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to switch this over to the back side. We're going to put some Stampin' dimensionals on this one. I think 4 is just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back underneath that gem. And then this is just going to go right here. Make sure it's straight and we're going to press it down. We're going to fill in, we're going to add 2 more of the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I'm going to use a medium one because I'm counting this one as my number. This is number 2 and then number 3 is going to go over here. So we've got our triangle with our embellishments. And then we're going to add the Wink of Stella. This is such a beautiful card, you guys. Have no idea. And again, I just like to do brush strokes with my Wink of Stella. Fill in the middle and then just brush stroke it. I know some people like to fill in every area, but for me, I just like to give it a hint of sparkle and shine. I think less is more. And then we're just going to kind of like pounce with the brush tip onto the little ones. We'll call those pansies. There we have it. Phew. Okay, so we're going to put these side by side so you can see the difference. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. I got to put the linen thread on here. So I'm going to put it right over here, right in this white area to cover that up. So we need to grab some glue dots to do that. So we'll just fold this over, grab a glue dot, and I like to pinch it off, and then add that right here in that little white spot so you can't really even see it. These tails are going to look really good long, so I really don't have to trim off much of them. I'll take my ribbon scissors and just give these a fresh look here. And then this is going to be cut off here. Now, to smooth out and make those a little bit not so harsh, just take your pick tool, the pointy part, and just poke it into the ends to make it frayed. There, so that looks much better. Okay, so now we can put them side by side and we can see what they look like. So here's more of a very soft look, and then this one, because it's got that heaviness on the back side, it's starting to curl up. So what I would do is I would probably let this sit overnight and put a heavy book on it. That way it would kind of flatten out. But right now it's too wet with the liquid glue on that. But we've got a different pot on this look. We've got the gingham embossing folder, which looks lovely. And then this one is just plain. So in Card Club, you're going to definitely get the gingham look. So I'm going to go over to my laptop and see if you guys have any questions. Also, I'm going to put, I don't know if I'm in the camera or not. Let me just double check. These are the other two cards we made tonight. So, all right, I'm going to go way back. Okay, so Anne, you received your clipboard kit today. That is great because I just sent those out. Actually, my husband did for me. So that's great. Snowy day project. You bet. I'm going to be in my craft room all day tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, my husband's really tired. Yes, he's definitely sawing wood. He actually brought in probably 30 bags of pellets today, and they're all at 40 pounds a piece before we get all the snow. Actually, yes, 8 o'clock this morning. I like both. Great job. Wonderful. Okay, so yes, everything looks so beautiful, doesn't it? So we've got these two that are just got the petal pink. Okay, and then we've got, I'll put them this way so they're opposite. We got some bright colors. Sorry, I don't think I can zoom out. Now I'm out as far as I can go on my phone. But what do you guys think? I think they're beautiful, and I think Card Club for December is excellent, and you guys should give it a try. It's $39, and you can just do it for 1 month. You can also give it as a Christmas present too. You need to register by the 20th of the month. It's $39 a month, and if you stick with it for 6 consecutive months, like I know a lot of you have that are watching, you receive a $25 gift from me, and it's generally it's products that you usually have in your craft room. Like I'd like to add in blocks. The Stampin' Up! Blocks are great to work with. I love that they have the grip. Like, Some of them are much, you know, some blocks you can get that are really small, but I love these because they have nice gripping effect here. So I like to do that. I like to also throw in some adhesive because, you know, we always need adhesive. Envelopes, because you need to send your cards in Stampin' Up! Envelopes because those are the best in the market. And you know what? You spent all this time on creating a card, send it in a nice envelope. Make sure you sign the back side as well. I use the limited edition stamp set because I do sell my cards, and this stamp set does abide by the Stampin' Up! Copyright legal thing here. Copyright. Woo! You're just gonna have this on it, any of those, if you're selling your cards. Copyright logo, there we go. So what else was I saying? I'm not even sure. Anyway, card club, and this is the other card you're going to get. It's more of a simple, basic card for your beginner, but it does, it's very lovely with the Blackberry Bliss. And then my other card is, I don't even know where it is. Oh, it's right here. Hopefully I did not damage it. And here's the black one, and very vanilla. This is a stamped image, by the way, but there's a pattern in the Designer Series paper that you can cut out. So Card Club is going to be awesome this month. If you have any questions on it, let me know. You can email me at Karen@inspiredbygraham.com, or you can simply go to my website. Everything is on my website. On Card Club, it does... registration closes at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Firm on that because I've got to order all my products, although I think I've got everything covered plus a couple extras just in case. So that is coming to a close. I also have my ordering special, which is the framed florets free card class with a $35 order or more using my host code here. If you want to take a snapshot, that's the web address. Although you can go to my website and it's all there. But that $35 order should be $75, so you get free shipping on that. And 8 card kits to create these 4 cards. And then I also have some of the, hold on, the mini clipboard kits still available. I made a couple extra. So this is only $20, and I know I pretty much underpriced it, but I wanted to get these in your hands so you can kind of see what my kits will kind of include. Next kit coming up is going to be list pad kits. So I'm going to have a video up at some point maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky, with the kit and what I'm going to include in that as well. So these make great gifts. They make nice like crafting afternoons with friends or families, or even your grandchildren if you have grandchildren, kids if you're young enough to have little kids. But I really love these craft fair items, farmers markets. They're lovely. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I think that, yeah, I'll be home all day tomorrow working in my craft room, so you can definitely give me a call. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Be careful out there in the snow. And if it's hot wherever you're living, like, you know, in the 80s, you can send it our way. I'm done with the snow already. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, take care. No, not Monday. Next week. Bye.